Welcome back, everybody. We are live a second time today, doing something special. We're interviewing friends in the ecosystem, in the Cosmos ecosystem. We're interviewing Signal today. Before we get into all of that, guys, I do got to give a channel sponsor shout out to eMoney. You guys know the drill. They help us do what we do here each and every day when we go live. Shout outs to eMoney. If you guys want to know more about eMoney, check out the links down below. They're fully compliant EU stablecoin within not just the Cosmos ecosystem, but the greater crypto landscape. They're fully compliant with the EU. They're independently audited, and they have an array of collateralized assets to back their stable. So go ahead and check them out down below. Let's go ahead and jump on into today's live stream, which again, guys, was just a pop-up live stream taking you guys by surprise. So maybe you guys will funnel in later and we'll download this on YouTube. We're going to be talking with Signal. Let me pop them up here real quick, guys. We're going to be talking with Signal. We're going to be talking about what they've been doing, what they've been building as far as their NFT project. We're going to be talking about their token. We're going to be talking about a bunch of things. How are you doing? Actually, hold on one second. Let me be sure here. There we go. Now I think they can hear you. How are you doing, my friend?
Yeah, I'm doing great. Thank you.
Awesome.
It's awesome to be here. I really appreciate you taking the time to chat a little bit about our little project.
Yeah, I've been actually dying. I know you've spoken to quite a bit of different people that run in the same circles as ourselves. I think you spoke to Joe. Shout outs to Joe. Everybody knows the Joe chain.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
We're really big fans of him. Even before the big Joe thing happened. So I like to claim that little nugget. I was supporting Joe before everybody else was supporting Joe. But we absolutely
Same here, man.
Yeah, we love him. He's a great content provider. And we just kind of want to follow up and kind of expand on the things that you guys talked about when you spoke with Joe and a few others. I guess first and foremost, we should start from the very beginning. Can you tell us a little bit about Signal and what it all involves?
Yeah, for sure. I also just want to say, I remember when I did that interview with Joe, I think I talked to him for like an hour and a half beforehand, just shooting the shit. I was like, oh, this is like a hell of a nice guy.
Yeah.
A great person to chat with. Yeah, for Signal, so basically what we're trying to do is there's two major components to it. What the project is overall is a gaming project. We have NFTs. We also have the Signal token. We use the Signal token as a rewards token to reward people for solving puzzles within the kind of the broader alternate reality game. And we conceived of this, I guess, about a year ago. We launched it on Juno. It's a CW20 token. We have a DAO. We put the whole treasury into the DAO, and then kind of been using that to pay out people over the last 9 months, I guess it is now, for kind of working together to solve puzzles and things like that we generate. The sort of theme of it is this idea that there's like alien contact. This organization, the Signal organization, as in me, we're kind of role playing as this fringe kind of group that was searching for extraterrestrial intelligence, and we claim that we found it. And then we're putting out the things we found to the community, these like transmissions and videos and things like that are all like encoded, encrypted, and people have to try and come together to solve them, all kinds of different puzzling styles. And then we reward people for doing so.
It's very, very trippy. I just want to go, I know this is transmission 8, guys, but I want to share with you guys really quickly. It's a really short transmission. Usually a lot of them are very, very like 30 seconds or less, somewhere around there, right?
Usually short. Yeah.
Guys, check this out. Like I want to play this, and then I want to kind of give you guys a story about when I first originally heard a Signal. But hold on, let me go ahead and play this real quickly. It's pretty crazy. It's just what's up, Kanye West? Yeah, so that's one of the signals. Again, this is transmission 8. You guys, by the way, I will put their links down below in this video later on if you guys want to actually go. Actually, do them a favor, do me a favor, go and subscribe to their YouTube channel. That's where you're gonna find all the transmissions. So if you guys want to play along on this and try to figure it out, I remember when it first came out. This was so far over. Like I saw the first transmission, I was like,
Mm.
well, I'm not gonna figure that out. Like I'm so smooth brain. Like there was no way. But it was super interesting. It was really fun. Like I
Yeah.
didn't feel discouraged. Like I saw it and I was very much intrigued with the whole
Mm.
concept and what you guys were doing. Because when I remember when you guys first came out and put out your signal, it was like just and correct me if I'm wrong. It was like pretty much just the signal, and everybody was like, "What in
Yeah.
the world is this?"
Yeah, that's right. Sorry, is there a way for me to see like what's on your screen?
Oh,
Just
actually,
from right here.
yes, yes, yes,
Should I
yes,
just
yes. No, there's a
follow
little bit of
the
delay.
Twitch with
Hold
the
on.
delay?
Yeah, there's no. Let me share my screen, guys. Admittingly, we had a big storm. We had to cross over and do some MacGyvering real quick. Let me share it with you real quick. Let me see here. There on Discord, I'm streaming it, so you should be able to see it now.
Oh yeah, sweet.
Okay.
If I could, am I allowed to post something in your in like your Discord
Yeah, of course, of course, of course. And then
general
and then
an
I will
image?
go ahead and bring it up.
So that one that you just played,
Hmm.
that's just audio. Like when you run that through an audio spectrogram, it produces these images.
Oh my gosh.
And these are teasers of the upcoming NFT collection. This is actually kind of what the NFTs
Oh,
will look
wow.
like.
See, I'm such a smooth brain. Like I'm one of those people in this situation again, guys, that I'm just like hugging on to the big brain. That's that's all it is. I'm like, what did you get? What did you get? Tell me what happened. Nice.
Yeah, it's been really fun. I mean, that's kind of like that's kind of been our experience
Mhm.
with people that are interacting with the project. I think that's good in the sense that like there are some people that really really want to dig in and maybe they have the time, you know what I mean? Maybe they
Yeah.
have an afternoon off to try and kind of figure out what the solution is, and then but I think that it's enjoyable for other people who just kind of enjoy like watching as well.
Hmm.
But yeah, like you said, like that first transmission we put out, it's a sequence of numbers, right? And we put together that all those symbols are numbers that we like
Hey, are
designed
you
ourselves
getting?
or whatever.
Hmm. Oh
Um,
my gosh, we're seeing an
and
ad
this
here.
very first one was it's just a transmission, a series of numbers that it's basically it's pi, right? So it's 3 3 1 4, et cetera, et cetera.
Uh-huh.
So that's 3 1 4, and then we just put this out as our
You
first
say
one.
that you say that like it's like it's just basically pie. I was like when I remember when I first saw it, I was like, what is this? It's like what is happening? This is all like it was, but it was like you're saying, it was really cool, and I really dug that. Like I'm not one of those solvers, but I like to enjoy the ride, kind of thing,
Yeah,
and so it was easy for me to watch and enjoy it still, even at even if I was lost, even if I was kind of confused, and it was enough mystery to capture me and draw me in. So I think you guys nailed it,
that's cool.
especially the first presentations or whatnot.
Yeah, well, what we're hoping for is to like provide entertainment and an interesting product that's not necessarily hidden behind some kind of paywall. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Like people are able to interact with our project and explore all these different sort of little threads that we put out there, and we reward them for doing so with Signal token that we distribute every month in our Discord.
That's
And
awesome.
I think it's like I don't know. Our idea was to build a kind of gaming experience where, as much as possible, we can put the gaming part at the front rather
Hmm.
than like behind the NFTs and so on. And then if we're able to build a associated brand, an experience that's compelling enough, then hopefully people will be interested in buying the NFTs that we're selling as well, right?
Yeah.
But we want it to be it's important for us to be for the project to be like part on chain and part off chain, basically.
Right, right. It kind of doesn't work if it wasn't that way, correct? Kind of.
Well,
I mean,
I
it would
mean,
work, but like, yeah.
depends on what time you launch in the market, right? There was a
True.
if it's in a bull market, you can definitely launch with a bunch of ambiguous NFTs that no one knows what they mean, and they might all sell out, right?
Right, right. I wonder, it's funny. I wonder how a project like this with so much mystery, especially earlier on. I mean, it's still that way. Would have done. I mean, you're absolutely. I think about that very often. I have a small collection as well of an NFT project, but I think of that
Hmm.
often as well. The speculation part of thing, it
Yeah,
captured
for
me for
sure.
sure. I do like gamification. I do like things that I can interact with in the later parts of the development stuff like that. So like I
Yeah.
appreciate the game and whatnot. But sometimes as a content provider and somebody who's launched an NFT project as well, There is sometimes,
Hmm.
you know, because obviously you measure success by mint outs and all this other. So some people do, I guess. But
Yeah, for sure.
yeah. So
I
yeah,
own a Maneki, by the way.
you guys hear that, by the way? What's up, Com US? Chicken tacos, every DGen. I see you guys all in the chat. This man owns a Maneki.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-mm-mm. Mm-mm-mm.
On my personal wallet, I do. Yeah.
There you go, man. So, are you into Discord? Are
You
you?
know, I followed a bit of it at the beginning, and I have to apologize. Like the last few months, I've done a lot of
Oh,
traveling, and I haven't been
no
able to pay
apologies
close enough
necessary. I
attention
totally
to many
understand.
different things. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
no apologies. I do, trust me. I totally. I will send you the links for the Discord. Right now, you're cool
Mm.
anyway. The end goal. And
Yeah.
this is. I promise, guys. This isn't to be. I don't want to turn this into a Maneki thing. But the end goal is to eventually get on DAO V2 so we can actually stake our NFTs. So right now
Yeah.
we're in a holding pattern anyway. So you didn't miss much. But man,
Mm.
I'm glad to hear that. I'm so glad to hear that. Anyway,
Yeah, of course.
enough about Manekis, even though that just made my whole day even better. Um, yeah. So, okay. So we're talking about Signal when you guys first came out.
Yeah.
Let me ask you something. I mean, is it just you? How big is your team? And how did this concept first, like, how does this come to be? Were you guys just like into like puzzle-ish kind of things? And like,
Yeah, there's four of us on the team.
okay.
I have like an audio designer, a visual designer, a game designer, and then myself. I'm not from a design background. I'm from like a international economics background, kind of like more traditional economics, that kind of thing. But I'm
Mm-hmm,
big into crypto as well.
mm-hmm,
So that's kind of how the group, and we're old friends, and we've done various projects, artistic projects, and other things together before. So it was people that I was looking for an opportunity to work with. And then I think conceptually, personally, I think that our product from an aesthetic perspective is interesting and compelling. I think that like the artists that I'm working with, those guys are really good, and so it's like it's a great pleasure for me to be doing a project where I can be kind of promoting their art,
mm-hmm.
if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And then, like I said, it was kind of I've been really into Cosmos for a while. I've done a few things with, I've done a little bit of things with some projects uh, over the last couple years, like
Mm-hmm.
kind of community contributions and things like that personally. And I've always left that separate. I didn't want it to affect Signal in any way, if that makes sense. I wanted this project to be separate than the stuff that I've worked on otherwise.
Yeah.
But I thought that there's like a great opportunity for trying to experiment with using tokens and using NFTs to kind of create this kind of, I guess you can call it P2E, but some kind of gaming model that isn't just what I consider kind of the cookie cutter one where you sell the all the NFTs and kind of promise a game a couple years down the road. I wanted to experiment with it and see how much we could do something where you're building this very loose idea of a game. It's like by just simply interacting with the project or talking on the Discord, you're sort of gaming in a way.
Mm-hmm.
And then there are more explicit aspects of it where it's gaming, where it's like there's a clear question to solve or something like that.
Right.
So that's kind of it. I wanted to experiment with it. I had the concept for the alien contact.
So it was your concept.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Well, let me ask you this then. Have you always been kind of like a sci-fi kind of person? Like, is
Yeah,
that
big time.
okay?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm a huge sci-fi fan.
Okay. I was gonna say, pulling from strengths, right? And interest anyway from right, everyday life. I love it. I love it, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Uh, did, was it also you that kind of designed? I know you said it was like there's four other or three others, four
Three others,
total.
yeah.
Okay, three others. Did they help you design kind of like the ins and outs of the tokenomics and then like the game structure and stuff? Like how far was each person's involvement? I know you said an artist, but like, so what did the other two do?
So I designed all the tokenomics and how the game works. I
Mm-hmm.
designed most of the puzzles, and then the others, the artist, he's kind of responsible for the entire aesthetic visually, and then the audio designer is responsible for all the audio stuff. And a lot of that is kind of putting those together. There is some a real technical aspect required to
Mhm.
like some of those puzzles that we put together, especially in the audio and stuff. So their specific, technical expertise is really essential to the project.
It's interesting to hear that because with all of the arms and legs of a
Yeah.
project like this, like you're saying, audio and visual, like they all have to make sense at the end of the day, right? Like each transmission, so far being 8 of them that I see that's on
Hmm.
YouTube, like again, they all have to kind of make sense. Is that because like I guess what I'm trying to get at is like majority of NFT projects, even like NFT based games,
Hmm.
are they are pretty simple. This seems
Yeah.
very difficult. How difficult is each transmission? Like how much work goes into each thing?
Yeah, it takes like a lot of time, especially the ones that are more complex.
Mhm.
If you go to like transmission 4,
Okay,
this one is one that
let me go back here.
yeah, no, so this one was
Transmission. Where's 4? There. 4. There we go.
is one we were quite proud of that we ended up building a
We got an ad full of men here,
hey
guys.
there
Is
for your
it?
fitness. It knows you just got back from
Yeah.
jujitsu, right? um, so this one, you can see this thing appear, right? And then this is using the numbers again. So we're first thinking like, okay, maybe I'll let it play.
I feel like I'm tripping on something right now. That's so.
So
I feel like I'm tripping out when I listen to it.
so that one is what we figured out, like, so that was the first one we did, like it was like pi, right? And we were like, okay, what would aliens, like the first thing they'd communicate would probably be something to prove that they're intelligent, so like some kind of sequence of numbers, whether it's pi or like a Fibonacci sequence or whatever, right?
Uh huh.
And then for this one we were like, okay, people know what the numbers are, so what would be another thing that they would communicate? And so it's going around that circle. There's 10 circles, and it indicates 10 different numbers, and then those numbers are the atomic number for the 10 most common elements in the Milky Way, which is like
Bro,
it's like plausible that's how they would communicate. Let's say that they're also in the Milky Way, right? So it's like theoretically common knowledge that you could communicate only using numbers.
bro. If I chat right now, okay, guys, in chat right now, were you guys figuring this stuff out? There, Kanye West goes, bruh.
um,
Excuse me, I'm dying over here.
sorry, sorry.
No,
Um,
I love it though.
yeah, and then we were pretty happy with that one, and I wish I could. I wonder if I can find it easily. But so also we had hidden in the background, or sorry, like in the audio of that,
Okay,
we had
let me
this
go back to it
map.
again.
We had this. You won't be able to like hear it, but if you run it through like a spectrogram. Ooh, let's see if I can find a.
So you guys again, like, so if you guys don't
Yeah.
understand what he's saying, so like there's more to than just see. I didn't even know this. There's more to just these signals, right? These
Mm.
visuals and things that you can find on YouTube. Let me go back really quickly and kind of show you guys what he's talking about. You can run it through. Oops. Okay, you can. What did you call it?
A spectrogram?
A spectrogram. See, I'm so smooth brain. It's way over my head. But then you get these visuals as well in some of these
Yeah.
signals. It's my mind is blown right now.
So this is what I can I share another thing in your
Yeah, definitely, definitely.
where is it, your general chat? So for that one that we just played there, like it was the elements, right?
Hmm.
And then this is a graphic that someone from our community put together. But then you can see the thing on the side, and then in the audio, what it's showing is actually like a map of the alien solar system.
Wait,
And
so this is solved. So like this is
this
what.
is a solved one,
Oh
yeah.
my
And so they were able to
god,
put that together, and you can see the numbers beneath the
guys.
planets. That gave them a hint because it was those numbers coincided with like the what's the probable element composition of planets, right? Like, so the big one on the sun on the left is like mostly helium and hydrogen. So they're like, okay, that's 2-1, and that they're kind of able to work backwards from there, I guess.
See why? Okay, I'm so glad. I love it. I absolutely love this. This is so intriguing to me. I just like it almost. I just want to partake so I can figure out how dumb I actually am. And it's kind of like I feel like I feel it's so much fun, but I also feel bad because like you're like the whole premise is like aliens want to show that they can communicate, so they're smart, but they don't
Yeah.
understand that I'm really dumb and I would never get but I love it because there's other people that are smart enough, obviously, to figure these things out. So let's take a step back because this is so cool. I'm in awe. I could just
Mm,
sit here and watch the previous 1 through 8 transmissions and then see what was
yeah.
presented after the fact, and that's cool and all. But
Mm,
let's talk about a little bit more of like the people that are actually participating and figuring this kind of stuff out. How do they go about doing that? Like walk us through those steps. You put it out there
yeah.
on YouTube or however you're broadcasting it. Like I know you do things on Twitter. Obviously, guys, if you guys want to check them out, let me actually give you guys the link real quickly and put it in the chat for you. You guys can follow them there. And actually, let me do this as well. If you guys would subscribe to their channel here, I'll just give you the link. Actually, let me share this. Let me give you the link here, guys. Subscribe to their channel. It's really interesting. Even if you guys like whatever, if you guys not in like, I think this is NFT gaming and like expansion of what NFTs can do done right, in my humble opinion.
Thank you.
So walk us through. Okay, so you present it out there, and then
Yeah.
how do people go about solving this? What's that process look like?
So in our Discord, we have a decryption channel,
Mhm.
and we consider that kind of the official channel for discussion of these things. And they just work together. They talk, they like post things. They're posting, different theories. A lot of the time wrong,
A lot of
disagreeing and things like that. But I mean, and that's basically it, right? And the way we award the points is, or no, sorry, not the point. Yeah, I consider them like points, but the signal token is we once a month we kind of go through and look at the contributions that everyone made to the discussion and then just divvy it up like that, not necessarily based on like who was the who actually found the answer, but what kind of contribution did people make to the discussion otherwise. And that's where, from my perspective, the project becomes a little bit of an experiment in community building because from the perspective of our token emissions, we're emitting them to like the most invested people in the game, if that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
no, that definitely makes sense. Guys, again, I put in the chat their link for their Twitter, their YouTube channel, and their Discord. Feel free to, at least, again, guys, for Twitter and YouTube, cost you absolutely nothing. It takes you 2 seconds to go over there and subscribe. That's, I think, one of the biggest things as a content creator. I'm always like, just do it, guys. Be a good person. It should make you feel good.
mm,
It makes me feel good when I'm being supportive.
Thanks,
Most,
man.
yeah, most people don't even like, what, just click it and forget it. Set it and forget it. Or interact. Like better yet, I put the Discord link in there as well. Interact with this. This is, again, I sometimes a bit like I want to get into it, but I'm so smooth brained. I'm just like, I'm just gonna feel like a dummy. But I love watching this stuff, and I love watching people figure it out. You do have it's like it's an ongoing transmission, and you do got. I was reading the white paper, and I was like,
Yeah,
obviously trying to keep up to date with your guys's Twitter feed. You guys
yeah,
do have another like launch app. I guess I don't know how you want to say this, but on Stars coming soon. Is that
yeah, we
correct?
do.
Okay.
By the way, how much time do we have in this? Sorry, in this conversation.
We have like another 30 minutes. It's all good.
Okay, that sounds good. So the first thing, yeah, I want to say about like Smooth Brain is like I feel the same way when it comes to our community because there's so much stuff that I'll take a lot of time carefully building and then like they solve it right away,
Oh,
kind
really?
of thing. So yeah, it's like some pretty smart guys, and that's one of the things that we're trying to also what we're trying to play with a little bit is make the project a little bit more accessible so that there are people that really want that super in-depth style of gaming, and then maybe we can also build things for people that want something that's like a little bit more casual or more sort of like economic based, that kind of thing, right?
But you also, I
Um,
feel like you maybe don't want to lose. Like as I'm saying, I'm smooth brain. I know that's kind of what the hard, like the difficulty level is what turns some people on. And
mhm.
as I like to just watch this, the Giga Brains and like conquer things. Like I feel like you definitely don't want to dumb it down too much because like if you make it too easy, people
Yeah,
are gonna be like, oh.
Well, that's exactly what we're going for with this collection that's coming out. So the concept of this collection is it's similar to the golden record from on the that's on the Voyager
Uh-huh.
crafts, where it's sort of a bunch of snapshots of life on this planet. And
Wait, explain to the people that don't know. I know what that is. Explain what you're talking about. Golden record on the Voyager craft.
yeah, so when the Voyager probes were sent out, Voyager 1 and 2, they put this golden record, which is filled with images and sounds from humanity. A lot of those sounds actually we've used in our own transmissions as like
Cool.
Easter eggs. But you know, like for example, recordings of people saying like, you know, hello, bonjour, and ni hao, this kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
As well as different images of whether it's like people eating a city, a river, you know, a deer in a forest, all these images of Earth. The concept of it being a kind of time capsule to, you know, if it's ever found someday by aliens,
Mhm.
you know, somewhere, they'll get to know that we were here and get a glimpse at a cross section of what life on Earth was like.
It's got to be like
Um,
the rest of social media. They don't show us the bad side. Just show us the good side. The good side only. They might piss them
yeah,
off. They'd be like, "What were these idiots doing?"
yeah. Well, and remember, Carl Sagan was very involved in that project, and he was actually very
Mhm.
particular about certain things not being shown.
Yeah.
Like there's, I believe there's no religious symbols in
Yeah.
it, and I believe
I
there's
actually
also
remember
like
that.
nothing war and things. Yeah,
Yeah. Don't show guns. Don't show stuff like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
So this is one from like, so the concept here is this is one from like an alien civilization that we've come across. And so it's all these different images from their planet and their solar system, presumably.
Uh huh.
And so that, you know, there's going to be a few different, to go back to the gaming aspect, there's going to be some really complex, in-depth puzzles built across these NFTs.
Hmm.
There's also going to be kind of more accessible gaming to it. Different, several of these NFTs have associated traits, and if you know, if it in a wallet, if you collect two or three that have like the same trait, there will be a reward for that, like a bonus NFT, a little stars drop, that kind of thing.
Okay.
So we're trying to include that kind of thing as well to hopefully, you know, encourage people to trade, bring in a little bit more of like a collectible card kind of thing
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
it, while at the same time having the very in-depth puzzles that the hardcore people can figure out.
Yeah. People need to be able to trade up and or down into the pieces that they need to figure stuff out, right?
Yeah,
Or just complete a set or whatnot. Kind of.
yeah, yeah. You can complete a set. We have a web-based game that will be coming out in about a month or two.
Mhm.
These will be integrated in that game. Um, we also another one. This is I'm really excited about that. I don't think anyone's noticed this yet, but so we're doing an airdrop to Juno.
I saw that. Wait,
And
where's that? Where was that at? I saw that
yeah,
up here.
community puzzle. So
There we go. Yeah.
yeah, so what we wanted to do is, you know, we're dropping what percent is it? I feel like it's like 6% of our token or 5%. No, 4 maybe. I think it's around 4%. Sorry.
You're like 6, 5, no 4, maybe
Yeah,
3.
yeah.
I'm not sure.
Negotiating down, yeah, as I look at the charts. No, I'm just joking. Um, so that's like ready to go,
Mhm.
and that will go live whenever this one large puzzle is solved that's hidden across the NFT collection. And it'll be like whenever anyone solves that, if anyone comes across it, it's like boom, the airdrop happens for everyone.
Oh gosh, now come on. I'm gonna put pressure on people. Like start solving things, you giga brains.
Yeah, I think it'll be kind of fun, right? So, and then like the people that are really into it, they get to kind of play this, you know, a little kind of like hero
I
role or
like
something.
that.
Like you
I
solve it,
like
and then
that
the drop goes
idea.
to the whole community. Yeah,
That is a guys, take note. That is a good incentivize or put a challenge out there. I like that. Incentivize the solving and like interaction with the NFT with the project in order to unlock what's going to benefit the greater ecosystem, the greater community. I like that. I
yeah.
like that.
The
Uh,
needs of the many, you know, like Spock.
can other projects do that? Can other projects take? Because you guys are so unique. Can other projects do something like obviously right? Like people will figure out ways, but I really do like that concept. I think people need to adopt that.
Yeah, I think it'll be fun, and it's just a way to I don't know, just to try and like with this kind of thing, you're working with all these different like I see the whole project as like an interface, right? Like the
Hmm.
token is a kind of interface with between the community and the project team. So are the NFTs. So at every contact point, it's like how do you try and gamify that in one way or another? So that's like one way we saw to do it
Bro, you
for
guys are
that.
gamers for sure. You and your whole team are like gamification is I think like one of those things when if you can nail it, right? Like then you're like not to say your guys' is, but like so many different NFT projects or projects that have NFTs and maybe tokens attached to it and stuff like that. You know, I I'm gonna speak kind of freely right now.
Hmm.
Like I have to acknowledge that guys, I do that all the time. But I feel like a lot of people, like a lot of teams struggle with that, right? Like they try to be a renaissance team of sorts where they're like, we gotta get everything, you know, to this level each on each tier, whatever. But really, if you like, not to say you guys again are doing this because I feel like you guys are just like knocking it out the park with every aspect of your guys' NFT or it's almost I don't almost don't want to say just NFT project because it's much more to that. For me, it feels like, um,
Hmm.
but like gamification, I feel like if you can like really nail that down, that allows sometimes not that you want it to happen, but that allows sometimes for tokenization and things like that to not be like maybe you know like it allows it to take not a backseat. What am I trying to say? Like it allows it not to have to be so strong, like you know, or so aggressive in comparisons to some other NFT projects where it's like all about the tokenomics and you know they kind of
Yeah.
struggle with the gamification kind of thing or the interaction between the people that are actually buying NFTs and the gaming platform. Do you get what I'm kind of saying?
Yeah, I do absolutely.
Yeah,
And
it's cool.
I think that yeah, and I think that it's like it's just more about trying to get people to well, two things. One is like I like a to have a more open idea of what is gaming to begin with, right?
Hmm.
So, I think a little bit this plays out like a community level like Dungeons and Dragons kind of thing where we're like the dungeon master interacting with these people, giving out experience in the form of like tokens, right?
Hmm.
For for like the quests they solved, right? And then the second thing, and then we are building things that will be like we have a browser game coming. There will be
Yeah.
things that are on chain and so on. But while we're doing that, just like all these other projects do that, and I'm sorry, I'm not trying to shit on projects, but like many projects do, where they say, okay, buy a bunch of our NFTs, and then we'll build this stuff a couple years from now for you to play. Why not, in the meantime, do our best to be producing entertainment and fun and so on, right?
Right.
Um, and then and then the second thing is, I think that you don't necessarily have to be so strict about whether something is on chain at this point in time.
Hmm.
And it's not as if, like we've actually also looked at we looked at a bunch of different models for like for example, like multi-coin models, that a lot of NFT gaming projects are built on where, you get your it builds a kind of closed economy within the game where it's like, okay, you stake your NFT and then you get token A, which you can then trade for token B and
Hmm.
get a chance to grab token C. This kind of stuff. It's not
Yeah.
like we're not aware of that and don't have that as an option, but it's just didn't interest us.
I don't like
No.
that structure to be honest with you. And again, I'm
Yeah.
not trying to shit on NFT projects like you said, but you know, as a consumer or even somebody that watches on the sideline for some of these things, you know, and I just don't think that that's sustainable. If you guys don't know, a lot of you guys do. I'm all about sustainability, maintainability, and growth, like long term growth in anything. Um, and I just feel like that structure is just kind of like, like I just don't see it right. Not to say that some of these projects don't find a lot of success because they definitely do. It's a thing, right? That's the reason why it's there. But I just, as far as like if I was to, if I knew that I was going to be getting into an NFT game, regardless of how the structure is, and it was
Hmm.
structured kind of like that, though, I would be like, nah, I'm out because I know it's only a matter of time until it doesn't work. Like it's
Yep.
been proven, right? Like it just does kind of doesn't work. By the way, I see at the very end of this, of course, you guys had to end it with like some puzzle thing down here.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Sorry,
love it.
that's connected to this. Oh yeah, can I link another thing to you?
Yeah,
So
of course, of course.
another thread of this is like there's the alien side of it, which is
Mhm.
all those transmissions and audio deciphering and things. And then there's also like the signal organization itself. I just shared a link
Oh
in
gosh,
your
wait, what is
general.
this?
So this is like the organization itself that is investigating the aliens. It's like not necessarily, we don't know if it's, let's say, reliable or not. It has its own background from like investigating aliens for the last 70 years. And so we have this thing that's playing out where there's like, are you able to share this document I shared?
Is it not up right now? Oh, maybe
It's on
it's.
Discord.
Yeah, hold on. It's on my
Sorry.
Brave browser, so maybe it's not capturing Brave
Oh
browser.
yeah, it's
So
not
yeah,
capturing it, I
hold
don't
on, hold
think.
on, hold on. I'll get it. I'll get it. I was looking at it this whole time in
So this is
Discord.
like
There you go.
yeah, so this is like a leak of documents from one of the inside the Signal organization about their history when they were like young, first investigating aliens, and it's some stuff. There's a bunch of
This
different
is freaking cool, dude. Like,
yeah.
this is geeky cool. This is like right up my alley. I like this shit.
Yeah, well, our goal is to build some things like this into the real world so that we can actually start like hiding things in the real world. For example, you got to go you got to go to these coordinates and dig up a box in Central Park, and then you'll
Oh
find some
gosh.
stuff
Oh,
like that kind of thing.
you're
So,
gonna get somebody arrested to be, sir. What are you
uh,
digging this up for?
no,
A game.
no, nothing in farmers' fields. We're gonna be very careful about that. Don't worry.
That's
but
so
uh,
cool.
but yeah, just to show it's not just audiovisual. We're kind of building out all this kind of random stuff, but it is all within a cohesive narrative that we've planned out ahead of time.
That is neat,
So,
right?
anyways,
Chicken tacos, chicken like that's neat, bro. That is you know what, man? I did like I knew, and obviously I've listened to you guys with the rack community. I've listened to you many times before and speaking to Joe and all this other stuff. But like this is just like seeing it firsthand and getting to speak with you firsthand and taking a moment to actually like understand it. This is I've not really seen any. Oh, I'll take it back. I haven't seen anything even close to this level of depth in an NFT game. And you guys are just doing it differently, which I absolutely respect and like. This
yeah,
is cool.
it's a lot of fun for us,
Yeah.
and I think that like so far, I think it's providing a pretty good experience for people. Like this whole thing, like they had to solve like this Morse code and thing stuff, and then they found this like on a hidden part of our website. You know what I mean? And I think for the community when they just like go to an unknown part of our website and suddenly there's this like huge document for them to dig into. I think that that's very fun and exciting, right? So we want to
Yeah.
like create those kind of experiences for people. Um, and it's about, I mean, from my perspective, it's like I said, like we're like we're so we do this part time.
Hmm. Which is
We're
amazing to me
all
because it seems like a full time, like overtime kind of thing.
well, I mean, one of the limitations or one of our sort of failures thus far is that we've been slower than we intended on delivering things.
Hmm.
We really wanted to move a lot quicker, but that's life has just gotten in the way. We all work full time, and it's been an interesting year, to say the least. So,
Hmm. Yeah, for sure.
so that's one of our like the detriments or problems with our project is we're a little slower than we first hoped. But in the end, I think that that's okay because we're still committed to delivering the same like quality of
Hmm.
product. And our goal for the first couple of years is really just to like basically maintain the integrity of our art and maintain our credibility as a team. And then we'll see what happens down the road in terms of where that takes us, right?
Right, right. No, no, no. And yeah, I get it. Like, I think a lot of people can fully relate and to how wonderful of a this past year has been. Not alone past 2 years, 3 years.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
but yeah, I think you guys are doing it right. To everybody who is antsy about production, maybe being slow.
Mhm.
I think for this kind of concept, this kind of game, um, it to be honest with you, I feel like it's kind of you get a pass because it fits in with the game. Like it fits in with the lore, the mystique, the overall feel of like, every once in a while you get a signal. It's like, aliens don't come out and just drop signals every single day kind of thing for you to
Yeah,
figure
sure.
out.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
it kind
yeah.
of just feels like it kind of fits in any kind of way. I'm not trying to give it like a pass on it, but it kind of like, it works kind of for me at least. Um, but
I
yeah,
appreciate you giving us a pass, I don't
no,
mind.
yeah.
Yeah, no,
um,
I know what you mean though, but yeah, I agree. I think it's like structurally, it's built in such a way that if we have delays or disruptions as life happens, maybe someone gets married, blah blah blah, right?
yeah,
These things happen. Or they have a wedding to plan, this kind of thing. It's okay for us to be quieter at some points and then I guess louder at other points.
Oh,
I
definitely.
think I think it works at least compared to, let's say, if we'd had, we built a like a like a Ponzi project that were like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, well, it's
Where
like
it's like, yeah, yeah.
it's like the people in chat, like chicken tacos and Anabom are saying in chat, like better to make sure shit works. And
Mm,
Anabom's also quick up, quick down, ready for some reliable, enjoyable progress. Like, yeah, I
mm,
agree with that. And I think a lot of people feel the same way. Like, we'd rather get behind these teams that are reputable, that are consistent, even if it's spread up amongst a long period of time, but are actually putting stuff out there that works, that makes sense, that's not like Ponzi-ish and stuff like that. Like people are just
mm.
over that. It was fun while it lasted. When the bull market is up, like nobody really cares. But
Yeah.
like these are the things that matter, especially in markets like now. And I like, again, not to give you guys a pass, but I'm going to give you guys a total big old pass because it works. And if it didn't work, I'd be very honest with you, but it works. The
Hmm.
concept, the art, the mystique, the involvement, cause you guys, firsthand, if you guys don't know, I'm always in, I'm talking to chat right now. I'm always in, several other spaces. I see you guys, at least you are, always engaging, and
Yeah.
getting in there. So I like it, man. Let me ask you this: with I know you said you have quite a bit of roadmap. I hate using that thing right now because people are getting ready for
Yeah.
roadmap, right?
It's all right.
Um,
It's like a dirt roadmap. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Like where, what is your humble opinion about market conditions right now? And I know the mint's coming soon. I
Hmm.
guess what I'm asking is like, what is your opinion about the speed of things and what you guys have going on over the next 2 to 3 months? Like, how do you feel? Do you feel like very optimistic? Do you feel kind of stressed out about the current situation, or like you guys dealing with things that you feel like could be dealt with in the ecosystem that we're in? Do you feel like there's struggles that you wish could be addressed or could be better that would help you guys out? Like,
I mean, like,
kind of
I
putting you
I
on the
would
spot
say
here.
that no, no, no. I'm not pessimistic. Like, I'm optimistic about our project, and we wouldn't be involved in the chains that we're involved in if we didn't have a lot of belief in in their product and the teams behind them ultimately.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm still optimistic, but yeah, of course, like I mean, I don't think it's any secret that like I don't know, the last couple of weeks have been pretty miserable. Let's say in Juno, um, right? We have the civil wars flare up every once in a while and that kind of thing, and it's a tough time in the market and elsewhere in the world. But that doesn't really, I think, it doesn't affect us in terms of our roadmap or our plans. I'm quite excited for the new year because we've been waiting a long time to get this NFT collection out.
Mm-hmm.
It's one that's actually a decent scale. Like we have put them out before, right? We put out one Elements NFT project that
Mm-hmm.
was 10 videos based on originally that transmission we talked about that was like the 10 most common elements.
Mm-hmm.
So we did a video for each of them, and I think those are actually really really cool NFTs personally. But it was only it's only 10 NFTs, and they're featured in Stargaze back in like June or something.
Mm-hmm.
I like them in the Discord if you wanted to see. But anyways, my point is we're excited to expand the project a little bit more, and so that more people can hold NFTs. Like there's just a little bit of a supply limitation at this
Mm-hmm.
point in terms of what we put out that's on chain. And the other thing I'm excited for is like I said, we have this browser based game that we're putting together that will be a kind of thing where you're playing scenarios that are interacting with the NFTs. Um, and you connect with your Kepler wallet to play it, and then you play by paying a little bit of stars or a little bit of signal or whatever that goes to our community pool, and then you kind of play these scenarios. And I think that with our project, we're gonna demonstrate an interesting proof of concept with that as something
Ooh.
that can sort of lend more backstory and kind of help gamify NFTs. And it's a platform that would be malleable so that other projects, for example, could hypothetically use it to to maybe create some kind of fun stories involving their NFTs and stuff. So hopefully that'll be something that can have some community use as well. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm very excited to if it works,
Yeah.
and if people like it, to produce something that maybe other projects can benefit from as well.
So the signal token is going to be used for the web, for the browser-based game. Correct? Did I hear that
Yeah,
right? Okay.
that's
Okay.
right. Yeah.
Okay. I don't know if we covered it earlier, but is that as far as the signal token? Because again, guys, you guys can find that on Juno
hmm
Swap right now. Is that the use? Is there more use case to the signal token, or like?
Yeah. So our the signal token is we take a cut of all of our NFT. We will be taking. I mean, we haven't released that many yet, but we take a cut from all the NFT projects, put that in the the DAO treasury,
Mhm.
and the signal token will be used to govern the DAO, and then signal token will also be used for this for the platform that we're building. So it'll be used to play very simply, like you connect with your Kepler wallet, and just a very small transaction to do one play of this game that's coming out. I can't say too much about it yet because I want it
I
to be a bit of a
figured, yeah.
surprise. But so I'm being a little evasive.
Mm.
But it'll be a kind of thing where kind of like an arcade style, where if you can imagine, where there's like, when you play it like classic arcades, you go and you put in a quarter and you play, and it's like, oh, I lost, I put in another quarter, and then, oh, this time I won, so I don't have to play anymore.
Yeah.
Like kind of that kind of model, and hopefully that is something that adds some utility to the signal token, and yeah.
Nice, nice, cool, cool. I kind of figured there was a bit that you probably couldn't say, but I had to sneak in that question for sure that people don't know. Um, yeah, dude, these are actually pretty freaking nice to be honest with you. Oh,
Yeah,
there's only one of them for sale for 100,000, of course, 100,000 stars.
yeah, like our community snatched them all up, and then there's no resale market,
Yeah, that some of
which is
them.
fine. But yeah, if you look at that one, I like Sulfur quite a bit. Like if you full screen it and play it,
Yeah,
so each of these is supposed to like evoke the like Sulfur, both audio and visual,
I feel like
and
I'm
then
tripping out every single time I watch one of you
yeah.
guys' things. I feel like I'm tripping out. Like, no, I'm having flashbacks of my youth. Don't. This isn't good for me, guys. Let's check some of these out. Let's check some of these out. Yeah, this is like, I'm 40. If you guys can't tell, look at my gray hairs. I'm 41 actually. I'm a like boomer, I guess, or whatever. But I grew up in those scenes where people were experimenting with trippy stuff, and this reminds me of all of that.
Oh yeah, totally.
It's really cool though. Look at this, guys.
And so like that number, right? That's the atomic number for what's this one? Iron, right? But that's the atomic number for iron, but written in the alien script.
Okay, so you came up with all of the script and the
Yeah. Well, not the visual designer designed the script. I didn't
no, but
design it.
like I'm saying, like, the I'm trying to think of the font, or like
Yep.
that's like, you guys are crazy, dude.
Yeah,
Like,
the alien number system. Yeah, we made it up.
that's pretty cool. Was that hard, or was that
No, a number system's not difficult. Like we've tested stuff for like a language, and that's far more complex and like riddled with problems, because it's like, how do you I mean, in how do you imagine a language? Because it's like, what would be their frame of reference? How would they sound? Would they like
Mhm.
speak forwards or backwards? Blah blah blah. So, I think a lot of sci-fi properties sort of cheat when they're developing languages. Like it'll basically be something that like follows the grammar of English but sounds different, or blah blah blah. And so I don't really want to do that because I find it cheap. So far we haven't produced anything like that.
I like that though, because like it's numbers. I mean, for the human race, like we would just go, what, 0 to 9, and then it's just,
Yeah,
that's, yeah, you create a set right there, but then you don't have to work with tones and like, yeah, I get that. That's,
exactly. Yeah.
yeah, that's, man,
Presuming
so
it's like
so
also
cool.
a base 10 system, right?
Yeah, just said,
Um,
like, for humans, yeah, like I was saying, like
yeah.
presuming that would be the case. I can only use my own point of reference in life, and that's a simple smooth brain, remember? So, DJ says scary shit for real. Yeah, it's cool, but it is so cool. Chicken Town, maybe their language is numbers only. That's what I was gonna get at. Like,
Well, yeah, it could be, right?
yeah, like that makes total sense. I just realized we have like 5 more minutes left.
Sorry, yeah.
Let me kind of wrap this up with asking you: is there anything which I want to do a follow up with this for sure because I feel like I could just go on and
Hmm.
on and on. But is there anything that you would kind of like to let the people know who are watching now, and then when this gets posted on YouTube, watching later, know about your project?
Yeah, I think I would say that that we are like we're very committed to building experience and bringing value to holders, both like and not strictly in like an economic way, but also I think just by like trying to build up the quality of this kind of developing this shared like intellectual property, if that makes sense,
Mm-hmm.
that this story is. I hope that that's something that we can build that the community can feel real ownership over. The upcoming NFT collection, they're static images, they're not videos. There's only about 75 of them.
Oh,
I
okay. I'm gonna
they're
have to
very
snag me
limited.
one of them.
Yeah. Actually, I can ask you. You're good. What do you think about our pricing? So we're gonna do like 500 stars for the whitelist, 750 for public mint.
I feel like when other NFT leads or teams ask me this, I feel like I'm always the wrong person because I like with Maneki and with
Yeah.
we have one coming up as well, right? Like ours, this one's a little bit lower, but I feel like if it's quality, like who
Yeah.
cares what the price is? 500 to me
Mm.
is worth it, right? Like if for a smaller collection. I think 500 is on, especially now knowing what I know about what you guys are doing and how you guys are doing it
Mm.
and what you guys have gone through. Like I know I'm snagging up a few of them for sure.
Right
500
on.
is right up my alley.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I mean, we're still kind of, we'll see exactly where the market goes. You know, if I can say briefly, like when we released that Elements one, we were producing it back when, like, remember the crash in, what was that, May, like the Luna crash or
Hmm.
whatever? So we were first putting it together, you know, when the market was much higher. And then when we listed it like a few weeks later, we were like, we were totally out of sync with the, how much demand had fallen with the market, you know what I mean? So
Yeah,
we originally listed it for way too high, so we just immediately like minted them to ourselves and resold them for like 90% discount or whatever.
right.
So that's like a lesson. We have learned that lesson before. So you know, we're keeping an eye on the market conditions, and we want to make sure that this is like an accessible collection, and
Well,
we
there's
want
no
it to
burn or
be.
anything like that, right? Like you guys don't have a burn or any, like you said. There's how many in this collection coming up?
Well, 75.
So yeah, this guys. There's only everybody in chat's always like we're a whitelist, whitelist guys. I don't like whitelist for 75 piece collection. I don't know. Maybe I'll ask a dumb question. Is there a whitelist? I wouldn't assume. I assume there's not.
Yeah, yeah,
Is there really?
yeah.
Like, how did they get whitelist? Because now they're bugging me about it.
Yeah, no, for sure. I can give you guys. I was planning on asking if you wanted to give a few whitelist
Yeah,
to your
definitely.
community, but I don't know how you do that exactly. Like everyone's different, you know.
I no, I definitely for everybody in chat right now. Everybody in chat right now, if you guys want a whitelist, how did they get that? There's yo, everybody's like yo. um, no, if you I don't know if you do. Some people have it in their Discord, like to submit
Hmm.
their stars address, or do you guys have anything like that in your Discord, or do you want
No,
me to collect them and
would
I can just give it to you?
yeah, could I offer that you just like raffle off a few or something
Yeah, I can do that
to
too.
your
Yeah,
community?
for
Yeah,
sure,
sure.
for sure.
Yeah, that would work. And then if you just sent them to me, then we'll add them to the list.
Cool. How many? I'm gonna put you on the spot. How many whitelists you want me to raffle off?
I guess I'll give how about maybe one for yourself and then four for your community, let's say.
Yes, guys. Tough luck. One of them's
Is
mine.
that
I'm
fair?
taking it.
I mean, yeah, do what you want with it. I don't know, but
Yeah, all five are mine. Fuck off, guys. I got five
yeah,
wallets. I'm just,
yeah, we've given.
I'll do that. I will collect all of those and I will send it your way. How do you like? Well, I'll figure it out. Either in
Yeah,
Twitter. I'll figure it. Yeah.
whenever's convenient. Yeah.
DJ's bruh. You guys know how I do. You guys know how I do. I take care of the peoples. Brother, thank you so much for taking the time to speak to us and the community about what you guys are doing. It's so interesting. I think
Thank
it
you.
like
Yeah.
I really, really enjoyed it. I definitely want to do a follow up. I would definitely like to cover more leading up to the mint. Again, remind me, when's the mint again? December.
S- so we haven't, not exact, but probably like December 9th or 10th.
Okay, that's what I was thinking.
Right around there. So
Cool. Well, leading up to that, we'll definitely have to have you guys back on again, whether it's on here or on a Spaces, or maybe during the morning show, if that works out for you. We get a lot more people watching, like 30 sometimes people during the live show. So we can definitely do that leading up to the mint. That would be really, really exciting.
It'd be cool. I was watching it this morning, so yeah, I'd be happy to join.
Oh, you heard me ranting. And
I was like, oh shit, this is gonna be a tough one for me.
No, I really enjoyed it, guys. We're gonna get out of here. Thank you so much for explaining your project to us. You guys take care. Take care, brother.
Thank you. Take care.
Peace.
Thanks, everyone.